Hello and welcome to Pod and Long. I am your host, Ryan. It's great to have you with us. And I'm here with my other co-host, Mr. Megastar Mark.
Oh, yeah, it's a fucking blast to be here, Ryan, you piece of shit. I am so mad. Why'd you bring me here? Why? Anyway, how you doing, Ryan?
Oh, good. How are you?
Very good. That's my dog up, by the way. He's staring at me with very confused eyes.
I used to play Guitar Hero by myself, and my
Yeah.
dog would not like it. He was like, "What are you doing? Stop singing Queen alone in a room.
Goddamn weirdo.
You're not good at this."
Yeah.
We're here. We're back on Pod and Long. Drew is out this week, so we are sending our well wishes to him. We'll see him next week.
Yep.
But man, we got a lot to talk about. A lot of things happened in week 10.
Did it.
Well, the first category.
Attention.
Oh, you weren't? The first category is Dear God, which is the only way you can describe last night's game, the Monday Night Football game, where our beloved Broncos, who we hate, faced off against the Bills in a wacky game. I don't know where you want to start. I'll give you the floor. Go ahead.
I really don't even know where to start either on this. The Bills look pathetic on both sides. At least you have an excuse on the defense. By the way, ended the game with 8 out of 11 starters not playing because they lost Leonard Floyd halfway through the game.
Oh boy.
So, that's embarrassing, but I don't know. There's some, you can cover that, but the offense just absolutely abysmal. Josh Allen making horrible decisions early in that game. James Cook fumbling at the most inopportune times, abandoning the run again, busting off a 90-yard run or an 80-yard run or a 60-yard run, abandoning the run for no reason. Just absolutely frustrating. And give the Broncos credit. They clutch came through in the end. So kudos to them. But Bills are just a mess.
James Cook fumbled the very first carry.
Yeah.
So that was bad. Josh Allen threw a pass to who? Dalton Kincaid, and it went off his hands.
Yeah,
right. For an interception. Then Josh Allen had a really bad pick later in the game, and then he just dropped the ball at one point when he tried to hand it off to Cook.
That man gets in his own head more than I think any quarterback in the league. He really just... When he's on his game, he's unstoppable. And when he's flustered, he's one of the worst. And if you fluster him early, like they did in that game, there's like no chance for him to rebound, unfortunately, for Bills fans.
The interesting thing was, like, for all of that, they still had a chance to win this game and should have won this game. Yeah. After all of those things, they had that awful pass interference penalty, which I don't know if I would have called that. It was an awful pass by Wilson. He couldn't throw it deep. It was super underthrown. So Johnson had to undercut the route, and then they bumped into each other, which allowed for a field goal. Basically, if that doesn't happen, the game is over.
Mm-hmm.
The field goal happens. 12 men on the field.
Yep.
They miss it, but then it's 12 men on the field. And that's also inexcusable. That's you, McDermott. That's you, McDermott.
That's on him. And he did own it. I'll give him that. He did own it. And by the way, anybody who says the McDermott should get fired, they're fucking crazy. That's somebody who doesn't know anything about football.
Yeah,
McDermott made a mistake in this game, and that is inexcusable, as he said himself. But anybody who's calling for McDermott's head is just, they don't know this game. This is a man who is working with a quarter of his defense that began the season, really. And I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he does need to delegate better. I think next year he needs to bring in a defensive coordinator instead of calling his own plays. I think that will help. And then he needs to focus on the team itself. I think he's made some very poor mistakes here, but I still think there should be 0.0% chance he gets fired. Not this year.
No. I wouldn't fire him because who are you going to replace him with?
Right, exactly. Do Bills fans remember Chan Gailey?
Yeah.
Do they remember Dick Duran? Because that's what we had before. So McDermott himself needs to get better, but I think he understands that, and I think the team responds to him.
Yeah, he's not a bad coach. I mean, it was a bad moment. It was a bad moment. Not he has his whole career. He has not been a bad coach.
What bothers me a little bit though is he is very stubborn, and like
Yeah.
have on this team 3 coaches who have been defensive coordinators in the NFL with varying degrees of success. Obviously, they wouldn't be megastars because they would still be with those teams or head coaches somewhere, but they experience. Why he doesn't just delegate, say, hey, by the way, rest of the season, you're calling the defensive play so I can focus more on being a coach and managing this team. That I don't understand. Like, he needs to give it to one of the 3. I think there's a Shula somewhere on this team.
There's a Shula out there.
Shula somewhere. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
One
positive thing did come out of this game.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Ken Dorsey was blamed for this loss.
No, he should have been blamed for this loss. It's not just this game. He's been
it's
horrible.
This
whole year.
It's 2 years. It's 2 years of it.
Right. They had enough. They weren't as crippled although honestly the offense has been not hurt. So he really has no excuse. He's just calling any the abandonment of the run. And last night it was working so well, and they should have just ran it 30 times, just over and over again. They couldn't stop him. And
there was one after the crazy fumble run, which was insane. Where like it was like somebody described it today to me as like playing basketball. It looked like he dribbled it, which allowed him to get forward and keep running. That was amazing by James Cook. But when he scored, they showed his stats, and it was like 10 carries, 100 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 fumble. I was like, that's a lot of yardage. Like, why are you not continuing to give him the ball?
The Bills give up so quickly on players, and that drives me nuts. One mistake, and all of a sudden he's benched for 3 series or whatever it was, and that's just ridiculous. It's just so it's so petty and childish. You do that in college, you don't do it in the NFL. So once again, I have criticisms of McDermott. I don't think he's definitely not blameless. There's a lot of blame to go around with him, but Dorsey clearly just was in over his head as an offensive coordinator. This is a guy who's probably best as a QB coach or a coordinator at the college rank. Honestly, he could go down to like Florida Atlantic and take over that team and be like, hey, remember me? I used to be the Miami quarterback. I can recruit here. That's probably the best spot for him. But just cannot handle the NFL's the pressure of the NFL. We saw him. Everyone always remembers him with the headset
smashing,
right, losing his mind and shit. So just wasn't cut out for this, and it was embarrassing that the Bills stuck with him as long as they did. But at least he's gone.
So that's the silver lining. Dorsey's out. Joe Brady in.
I like Joe Brady. I know you don't like him because he was, but I'm going to defend him here.
Okay.
Could you have coordinated an offense under Matt Rule?
No. Here was the problem with him, which I don't know if maybe this team is way better, so it's not a problem. His offensive schemes were so vanilla and never changed. He called this one of the stats. I forget how many times he called the play, but he called one specific play like 75 times in the one in 2020. Like defenses knew that these are the plays that he runs. That's it. Those are the 40 plays, and that's all there is. Now that was Teddy Bridgewater and Sam Darnold and whatever other bums they had, but the offense was just very generic. So look for that. But he was the passing game coordinator for LSU when Joe Burrow threw 60 touchdowns, but he also had Jefferson and Chase. So who gets the credit for that? Who doesn't? But we'll see.
Was that one play a run play by any chance? Because I might be down for that.
Okay. Run to the right with James
That
Cook.
seems to work. So we'll see. I think this team needs a reset. I think this team, luckily they have, a good amount of ways to create cap space in the offseason, whether it be releasing some of these aged veterans that probably don't need to be on this team anymore. They have 10 draft picks. So this team can rebound. As we've seen in the NFL, you can do a 1-year turnaround very quickly. Especially, I can't possibly imagine this team gets hurt as much as it does next year. Like it's absolutely hysterical how hurt this team is every time they step on the field. So we'll see. We'll see. But positive, like I said, getting rid of Dorsey. That guy
Silver
is
lining.
real bad.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. I mean, if you're Josh Allen, you're like, wow, I'm responsible for this dude getting fired, basically, as well. Like, I did not play well, made some stupid mistakes. Like, I got to get that cleaned up. Killer Greg mentioned that their offense looks like I don't know what he said, like hair on fire. Like they just look disoriented and disorganized, which I guess is a Dorsey thing.
It's just, yeah, I mean, it's been like that for the last year and a half. It really has. They just don't, there's no identity to this team. And if Brady can even bring, okay, this is a hurry up offense now, or okay, this is a run first, medium, like over the middle passing thing, at least that's something. At least there's something to build there. Right now, it's chaos. Killer Greg's right. It's just chaos. So I'm curious to see what they do. I think the players, hopefully, if you're a Bills fan, hopefully will at least this upcoming week, much like the Raiders do, which we'll talk about later, respond to the coaching change. Respond to wanting to prove themselves again. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
The problem is they're 5-5 now. The problem is they could still win the division, but the schedule is brutal.
No, you know what?
Brutal.
They're going to win those games. They're going to win those games.
Okay. Well, they got the Jets, but they should beat the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. And then they got Philly, the Chiefs, Dallas, the Chargers. They should beat the Patriots, and then they have the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So that is a rough end of the season schedule here for them.
My friend, you don't know about the Bills, do you? They play down to every single team, but they also play up to every single team.
Okay.
So when they are not expected to win games, that's when they pull rabbits out of their ass. So this team will not make the playoffs. The Bills will not make the playoffs. They're not going to win the division. But I think you could see like 9 wins, 10 wins, 9 wins, 9.
Okay.
We'll say 9 wins. And they're going to beat one of those teams in a game they have no business winning, and they're going to win big because that's the way the Bills do. And then they lose a game against the Patriots by like 40. That's just how the team operates. So,
oh boy. Well, we'll see. We'll see what Joe Brady can do.
Yeah.
All right. Next category is Chargers got a Charger. The ultimate Chargers game. Just a track meet against the Lions. And then they end up blowing it. Chargers team. Lions can run the ball, man.
Yes, they can.
All of a sudden, they got everybody healthy now, and they can run it.
That offensive line, I think, is very underrated. They are real strong, and they spent a lot of time and effort building that thing. It's funny though. My dad, he's kind of casually into football. It's not really his thing, but he'll always ask me, like, he was like, "Hey, Mark, are the Lions any good?" And I'm like, "Probably not." I still, even after this, I'm still like, eh.
How about the Lions are gonna host the Packers on Thanksgiving Day?
That's fun.
And actually have a good winning record, and probably will blow out the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. That feels weird.
They're not, because the Lions have some Bills DNA. I call it the Great Lakes DNA.
Yeah,
where they're gonna like crab bucket themselves on national TV.
Yeah. I mean, they should demolish the Packers, but who knows?
On paper, they should.
On paper, they should. So many years of the Lions playing on Thanksgiving just getting murdered by other teams.
Every team. And I love, by the way, I really don't know what the Lions are, but I do root for the Lions. I do like this team. So
right.
I read somewhere, I think it was Pro Football Talk, they're talking about Campbell ditching the Lions and going to Texas A&M, his alma mater.
Oh my God.
And honestly, if you're Texas A&M,
why not?
At least throw out a feeler. You never know.
People would play for him.
Yeah.
Right? Because he would recruit.
You know how much he's getting paid right now. That's public record.
Yeah, right.
Maybe throw a couple million on it. Like, I feel like the Lions got to prepare themselves for that. I think they can fend it off, but it's coming. So.
Wow. Does A&M even have enough money to pay anything else? Like, is the school going to shut down after the Jimbo Fisher buyout?
Those donors. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's like a
that's true.
drop in the bucket. These are all like oil tycoons, and
They have oil money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else there's to say. The Chargers are just not. They did what they always do. They hang in there, but they're just not good enough. And that coach stinks.
I like Herbert. He does. He's got to go. I mean, I'm still always shocked that he's still there. If they haven't fired him yet, they're not going to fire him till the end of the season. So
we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. What? Only one game in the Awat. Ravens and Browns. Game began with a pick six. First play of the game.
Yeah.
Pick six by the Ravens. Ravens had a great first half. What were they up? 20-something points in the first half. Running it all over the place. Lamar looked good. In the second half, it completely flipped. And the Browns just chipped away, and then hit a game-winning field goal after Lamar threw maybe the worst throw I've ever seen him throw. An underthrown ball in the end zone. Picked. Yeah.
I feel like the Ravens haven't been challenged enough this season. And a lot of that's not their fault. It's just the schedule is what it is.
Right.
So I feel like they haven't had like those games to toughen them up, and when they get to a situation like this, they just kind of buckle. I feel like they will get there, but like this, I feel like is an example of them, needing to learn how to win again. I know it seems weird to say, but like learning how to win these like close games, not like blowing out the Cardinals or something.
Right. Yeah.
I fucking hate the Browns.
I hate the Browns too.
So gross. I hate Jim Schwartz. Obviously, I hate the rapist. I hate their like. I don't even say lame duck coach. He's not even like there. He's like he's like a cuckold.
Yeah.
Right.
He's just being manipulated.
Yeah.
They have a great defense. I mean, Myles Garrett again was good. They made Lamar look bad.
Is a hell of a coach. He's also an asshole, but he's a hell of a defensive coach.
I mean, we've bludgeoned Deshaun a lot, but he got killed in this game and kept on ticking. So he stayed out there. He was getting smashed by the Ravens and just hung in there. He's got to be hurting. He was like limping around. He ran, but he did run one in. Like he still doesn't look great. He doesn't look like his early Texans at all. But Ravens should have had this one, and they blew it.
Also, I harp on it a lot, but division games, man, that's why I don't bet on them. You just you never quite know what's going to happen in them.
Yeah, I mean the other thing is like Odell Beckham hasn't done a thing. Like he scored the last 2 weeks, but like one catch in this game for a touchdown, but one catch. The week before he caught like a garbage time one from Huntley. Like he has done nothing for this offense. Nothing.
I don't think he will do anything really significant for the rest of the season. Maybe if they when they get to the playoffs. I think the Ravens are still going to win this division.
Probably. But they have a tough matchup on Thursday though. They got to go against the Bengals.
Yep.
After their disaster. So somebody's got to win that one. Finally a good Thursday night game.
I know. Well, on paper.
On paper. We'll
that game has a tendency to drag people down.
Oh, it does. All right, the big matchup category, the Texans and the Bengals.
Yeah.
Had a barn burner.
How about that CJ Stroud? I had a rough week. You'd have to have it too.
Oh, we're going to get there. CJ Stroud is good.
Yes,
his team didn't even have Nico Collins, and he was still good.
Yep.
He threw one really bad interception, which made me happy for a second. I was like, oh, he did it. He made a mistake. They're going to lose. But no, he brought him back again. Burrow threw two awful interceptions. Like, real interesting. Like, some of the best quarterbacks, like all the ones that are on the marquee and Madden covers and the NFL Sunday Ticket, some of the worst interceptions by Allen, Burrow, Lamar, awful interceptions.
Yeah, this week was particularly brutal.
Yeah, Burrow threw two really bad ones in this one and basically lost in the game on that one. There was a dropped surefire touchdown that who was it? Boyd dropped, I think. Yep.
which is unfortunately kind of his MO. Is that everyone always says this guy should have broken out years ago, or a year, 2 years, 3 years ago. And just concentration drops every now and then, so kind of slows down his progress. Texans, like, they're fucking tough, man. They are a tough team in a division that is winnable. It's going to be fun to watch them the rest of the year.
They don't even have like all the weapons that they're running Devin Singletary.
Yeah, right. They have no real running weapon. Not to dismiss Devin, he's a very fine role player.
He's fine, yeah,
right. But like, he's not. No one's going to be game plan for Devin Singletary.
We haven't even gotten to the good version of the Texans.
I could see them. Like, I mean, they're going to make especially in like I said, that division, which the Colts, the Titans, these are teams that are struggling a little bit, just in terms, even like if you look at them in terms of the long-term future, not particularly solid. Maybe the Colts have the best potential there.
Sure.
I think the Texans can make a very solid run at this division for the next couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, I think I underestimated in the offseason how good their offensive line is. I think it's way, way better than the Panthers' offensive line. So that helps.
It's so weird to say, but like, you don't even have to be talented as an offensive line. You just have to be consistent and play with each other and not get hurt. Like, if you have the same 5 guys they've been there from the week 1 and there's not been a loss because of an injury, they're going to be good at this point, just because most teams don't have that.
And when you see like that one guard who you think is good go to like another team and he stinks, you're like, oh yeah, okay. But I think like Laramie Tunsil, that guy, I don't know if he belongs in a FUBAR, but he had a rough beginning. But my God, that guy's got 3 huge contracts and has been a solid pro. For 10 years almost now.
Yep,
which is
Texans'
crazy.
Future's looking bright, and the Bengals. I still think they're going to be okay, but
I mean, tough loss, tough to lose that one, but the Texans aren't bad. It's right. That was a fun game to watch. This one wasn't. The 49ers decided to return to form and blow out the Jags. I think this says more about the Jags than
way
the
more.
49ers.
The Jags have I don't know. They once again another team that coasted on like easy victories and then like ran into tough teams and got their ass kicked.
Yeah, I mean, this was a beatdown. They didn't do anything in this game.
No, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I'm a little unnerved by him at this point, because I came in the league and I was so high on him, and I still think he's a good quarterback, but he is not. I mean, he was a number. People were talking about him like the next surefire thing next to Andrew Luck, and he's not really shown that. I mean, Andrew Luck, when he was always in the game, you had a potential to win that game at any point. I don't feel that way about Trevor Lawrence.
He was bad. 17 and 29, 185 yards, 2 picks, sacked 5 times.
Yeah, right.
That's not good.
No. I mean, the Niners once again have a good defense, so like the sack thing isn't as surprising, but I don't know. Like, I don't have the confidence this man is going to like lead me down if I'm down by like 6 points.
No. Unless they win these. Although they did have that comeback, which seems like an apparition at this point. Like,
I know
that playoff comeback is not how he's played at all.
Nope.
But he did do that. I mean, that's just a Chargers problem. But
Chargers could have been.
Chargers got a Charger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was expecting this to be a really good matchup, and it wasn't, because Brock Purdy looked good again.
Yeah.
And Deebo Samuel is back. Is that the only key to this working?
I think you brought that up last episode, Ryan, and I kind of laughed it off, but maybe like,
it's like he's back. Yeah. What is he doing?
He seems to make the defense play better too. It's weird.
Yeah. What is he doing? Like, he's just doing these weird reverses. He doesn't really do much. Every once in a while he'll score, and he's still athletic, but like,
he's the overlord. He controls everything and everything.
He's a real hype up guy. Everybody loves playing with him, I guess. I don't know.
Good for the Niners to get back on track.
Yeah, Mr. Mike was thrilled after he put a curse on his own team coming on this show for 3 weeks, and then now he's like, I don't know if I should come back on. We just won. Like, all right,
Good
well,
call, Mike. I like that.
yeah,
I like,
maybe keep this superstition going.
it's like, you're right. It's like when your team wins because you sat in a certain chair, you got to
Right.
always sit in that chair. I like it.
You need to do that. What did you think about the Christian McCaffrey touchdown thing, where they were like desperate? Did you see them desperately trying to get him to score when all the
Yeah.
starters were out?
Right.
Like,
I when I first saw that, I thought, like, did he have a contract incentive that he had to hit? What's going on?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why you're doing that. It's not that
Especially
big
with
of
a
a
man
deal.
who is made of glass.
Yeah, right.
Not a
You
good
don't want to
idea.
get him hurt, right?
Right. This isn't
Oh.
Jerome Bettis.
There, the bus.
Right.
All right. Next category is Dobbs. Josh Dobbs.
Megastar.
It's like I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. Like he drank he ate his spinach or something. My God, Josh Dobbs goes out and beat the Saints. Now he had help.
Yes,
he had some help in this one because the ghost of Jameis Winston came out and haunted this Saints team.
Yep.
Oh man.
So how did the Jets not give up a 6th-round draft pick for this guy? Like,
Yeah.
that's all it took. Like, this guy on the Jets, if you put him on the Jets right now, the Jets are like leading the AFC East. Like, how do you not? There's no way. There's no way. The Cardinals said, "Oh, okay, we got a 6 from the Vikings. Let's just not call the Jets and see if we can get a 5th." Like, there's no way that conversation didn't occur.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, right. He's great. I love, like, we mentioned on the air before, this man has secured his future in the NFL. He won't be a starter all the time.
Right.
A lot of this is, some of it is talent. Again, the talent he's playing against. I understand that. Mistakes the other team is making, but like, he's still going to be around for a long time now. So good on him. Good for the Vikings.
Why not? They've won 5 in a row.
Right. That's awesome.
They're definitely going to replace him next year. There's no way Dobbs.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way he's back.
Nope.
But he's beloved right now. It's fun to have a quarterback who's just kind of running around, chucking around, and it's working.
Maybe he can go to the Panthers.
I'll take him.
Yeah.
I'll take him right now.
Yeah.
He's tall. He's much taller than
tall.
Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Much taller.
He could be his guardian when they go on like those certain rides,
Yeah, right. He can take him to our movies.
Right.
The Saints just on the Saints side of things, they're a mess. They had Chris Olave got in trouble for speeding.
God. Yeah.
Then Michael Thomas gets arrested for smashing a windshield of a car that parked on a street or something. I saw like a graphic of Derek Carr's receivers and all the like fuck ups they've had over the years. He's had Antonio Brown on the Raiders. We went over that in a foo bar. Mm-hmm. He had Henry Ruggs. Now the Olave and Michael Thomas. Like, and that guy can't catch a break. He's hurt again.
I know he is. But I also can't understand how like the Saints I don't know. A couple years ago, they looked at Dennis Allen and his 4-12 records, and they're like, "This is the guy who's going to lead us. This is the guy." And then they're shocked Pikachu face that this is happening.
Yeah, I mean they did that just because he's Sean Payton's boy or whatever. Yeah, that's why they did it. But we're just going to keep it rolling without Sean Payton. No, you're not. It's Dennis Allen.
Fire him. Let him be a coordinator somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not firing him. I don't think. It seems like they're fine with where they are.
They seem happy with whatever.
I don't know why they're happy, but they seem happy.
Yeah.
All right, next category. The Cowboys love playing these shit teams.
Yes, they do.
They love it. 5 touchdowns from Dak. They make the Giants look terrible. Beat the crap out of the Tommy DeVitos.
Yep. If this is a game where the end result does not matter, and the Cowboys have substantially more talent, they will run up the score like nobody's business.
Yeah. And they're going to do it this week against the Panthers. You watch.
Yes,
I would bet that.
I don't think it's going to be as bad because I don't think they hate the Panthers like they hate the Giants. I feel like there was some sort of like, hate fucking going on there, but still.
I don't think they like the Panthers either. If you're going back over the historical timeline, 1996, they ended the run of the triplets, and the Panthers ended the run of the triplets in the playoffs. 2003, Bill Parcells makes the playoffs. Panthers knock him out. Thanksgiving, Tony Romo has a chance to make the playoffs. He gets pick six twice by Luke Kuechly. They're not friends. Let's put it that way. They've struggled with the Panthers over the years, but this Panthers team sucks. So
it still just strikes me though, is this team just beats up on shit teams and then they play real teams and really struggle.
Yeah, they're like totally two different.
They're like a
Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah,
right.
Get out of here, nerd.
Bully. As soon as someone bigger shows up, they just like, oh, never mind.
That guy did it. The guy in the Panthers jersey.
Yeah,
they
look like world beaters. The Giants.
Oh my god,
it's a dumpster fire.
They were freaking out on the sidelines. Like of course, it's good. It's good TV. Yeah. So like every time a player was screaming at another player, which happened often, and then Daboll goes on his press conference is like, that's just normal. We always do that. I'm like, that's bad. Daboll, that's bad. Teams don't yell at each other like that on the sidelines.
He yelled at DeVito. Like, what do you want DeVito to do?
Oh, I know.
DeVito.
Yeah.
What do you expect? He lives at home with his parents.
Yeah, seriously. Rent's high.
He screamed at him. What the fuck are you doing? He loves doing that. I love seeing him scream, what the fuck are you doing at people? It's my favorite.
Is there any way he can head coach from the booth? Like, I know that's never been done, but like for his sake and his players' sake, just shove him up there.
They need to put him in like a Pope Mobile box behind the sidelines where he can just dictate.
In the end, they had a shot of him in the fourth, and it was like he was still pissed because he was purple, so we knew he was still angry. But like he was not emoting. And that was just as creepy. That actually made me worry that he had a stroke. Like, so that was a little. At least when he's animated, I know like the blood is still flowing in his body.
He was like Mitch McConnell. He was unplugged for a while there. This guy, all right?
Oh, Jesus.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think Daboll's in trouble here to get fired, or do you think they're just like, this team absolutely stinks? Caleb Williams, dad bracket. We're gonna reload next year.
I think they'll give him another year. Especially, you know what? It's weird to say, but if they are the worst team in the league record-wise, I think that guarantees him another year because that guarantees him with Caleb Williams.
And they got to see that through.
They got it right, 100%, which I agree with. I agree. Like, see, Daboll, when he had, I mean, I guess, like I said, there's debate about Josh Allen now, but like when he had a competent quarterback, did put up great numbers. So let's see if he can do it again.
I mean, this team stinks. We're talking about years of destruction by their old GM Gettleman.
Yep.
Like that guy wrecked this team for a decade with how bad he was. You got to dig yourself out of that with draft picks and rebuilding this whole thing.
And
you
sometimes
can't do it. Yeah.
No, I was about to say, and sometimes the best things to do is do it all at once. Like, take those hits now and just absorb it and then just be shit for a year and then have your money and have your draft picks to rebuild fresh. That sometimes is the best way to go about these things. And it sucks to be a fan of a team that's going through that, but sometimes that's the easiest way. Instead of like this, right now the Giants are like slowly removing the stank of Gettleman, but like sometimes the best thing to do is just get it over with fast.
The other problem is they paid Daniel Jones a lot of money, and he's got a torn ACL now.
Yep.
And they got to get him off the book somehow. I'm sure the contract is, they can probably get rid of him, but they paid him stupidly.
Yep.
So they got to figure that out. Yikes.
Yep. This whole team is rough. Like I said, Saquon old looks real slow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If the Giants play the Panthers at a neutral site, who's winning that game?
I think the Panthers would win that game.
Wow.
On a neutral site, I think the Panthers win that game.
A neutral site, yeah. Okay.
Because the Panthers play hard and I think are better coached in general.
So. Okay. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Hey, if you want to fire Frank, he can come home.
You might want him. One step closer to the Maryland Terrapins. Commanders can't complete the comeback on the Seahawks. Seahawks looked better. Sam Howell for above Orton line, please. He needs to move up that list.
He's playing tough.
He again was good.
Yep.
Rest of the team's not good. He almost got him back in the game. Pete Carroll, he's back on top.
He once again though, like some of these teams, you look at their schedules, like how is it this easy? Like, I mean, like I feel like the Commanders are scrappy, but at the same time, like the Seahawks have been rolling. I mean, I guess that's the benefit of playing the Rams twice, playing the Cardinals twice. I get it, but like it just seems like every week is another like bottom feeder for this team, or like slightly below average for this team. They suffer through what Miami has and what Jacksonville has, where they play a tough team and they can't win. So as long as they get these mediocre teams, they're going to be fine.
They got blown up by the Lions last week, and this week they beat the Commanders. So
right,
I don't know.
I feel like Ron has got to be like just tired.
He's on his way out. He's on his way out for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I've got something special.
Ooh,
here it is. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
We go on into the Bears, but we can barely win a game. We hired the corpse of Frank Reich, so we found some old merch with his name. Carolina, oh Carolina, our quarterback can ride a roller coaster. Carolina, oh Carolina, order top shelf, well he can't serve you. Quarterback can't see over the top of your line, so he can't see the Panthers play. No wonder he's feeling fine. Carolina, oh Carolina, their pick could have been C.J. Stroud. Carolina, oh Carolina, we don't have a sex pest like the Browns. No matter how bad it gets, things can always...
Ballad of the Carolina Panthers.
I'm so glad we got to put that on the air.
Thank you, Chris, for
amazing work.
Together. We're going to play that every week when I do this category now. The Ballad of the Carolina Panthers is back. Now it's time for me to be depressed. So
listen, I got a coordinator who could use some work. He used to be a Panther, if I remember.
Dorsey,
correctly.
Let's bring him in. Why not? That means make it crazy, make it fun, make it weird. I take it.
I won't.
The Bears. Okay, so this was my Super Bowl. That's how I refer to it. This is my Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
If the Carolina Panthers, who had given up their pick to the Bears, could beat the Bears to ruin that just a little tiny bit, I would feel at least a little bit okay. It wasn't even Justin Fields. It was Bagent.
Yes, I know, right?
It was Bagent.
Bagent.
It was fucking Bagent. So I'm kind of glad it worked out this way. We were recording our other show while this game was happening.
Yes. Were you checking the score?
I was. I actually had it like I had a little. My phone was over here playing the game in a little tiny screen. They returned a punt for a touchdown. I'm like,
right.
Okay, things are happening. We scored a touchdown. We don't do that a lot. We scored a touchdown. We ended our recording. We said goodbye. Moved over to the bigger TV to watch the end of the game. And watch this team just lose this game in a stupid way. Of course. They're coming down. They're down by 3. They use the 2-minute warning. They're taking timeouts to try to score and win. I would assume you're 1-8 or whatever they were at the time. What the fuck are you doing? You got to beat the Bears. You have to. They have your pick. You need to make that at least one win worse. Like you need to at least do something.
Right.
This is your chance. So they call a timeout. They use the 2-minute warning. There's a 4th down. Frank Reich decides he's going to kick a 59-yard field goal with Eddie Pinheiro, which Eddie's not a bad kicker.
No.
But it's in Chicago.
Right.
In the wind.
I will say, doesn't that city have a nickname?
Yeah. In November. If you miss, you're fucked because you don't have enough timeouts to get the ball back.
Right.
So you converted 2 4th downs on that drive. What are you doing? At least go out there and try. Give Bryce Young a chance to actually go out and win a game.
Mm-hmm.
At least get closer and then maybe try the field goal. Do you think you're really going to win in overtime? What is this? And then, of course, Pinheiro misses because it's a 50. It's not a guarantee to make a
Oh my
59-yard
God,
field
that's
goal.
not even close to a guarantee.
It makes no sense. And
Yeah.
then, of course, the Bears basically just kneel it down and it's over. That's how they lost. So, like, can we lose in a dumber way? No,
So-
apparently not.
I put the voodoo hex on another coach when I asked the same question, so I might be doing it again to you.
Oh, no.
But does Frank Reich get fired?
Okay, so the next, like, that was a fireable offense. Like, not only did he lose the Bears, not only is he supposed to be an offensive genius and has not done anything, we can't score.
Right.
Now he's lost to the Bears in this stupid way. They showed David Tepper, the owner, in the box watching and just going like this, shaking his head, no. Like, no. And then after the game, the next day they interviewed Reich and they're like, have you talked to Tepper? And he's like, not yet. Like,
Yeah, that's actually bad. That's real bad.
He didn't even want to talk to him. He just
Tepper is
went
also
home.
kind of known for those not rash decisions, but he's
He
not
is
somebody who
though,
would shy
like,
away from this.
Yeah, there's a real good chance he could be out. There's a real good chance he could be out at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know who they get to replace him, but maybe just move the defensive coordinator into head coach.
I mean, I think if you can, if Young shows more development as over the next 8 weeks, I think he stays. I think I think but like if he is at this level or God forbid regresses, I think Reich's gone. I think you can just say this quarterback doesn't gel with this coach, and we need to find somebody who does. And that's your out. That's your explanation. So
I mean, the one thing he could have said was at least the guy's not a dumb coach. Like,
yeah,
and he just did that. I don't know why. His thinking was we had the wind with us. What he said his own coaches disagreed with him. That's the other thing that pisses me off.
right.
He took a poll from all the other coaches and then he still decided to kick the fucking field goal. Like, what are you doing?
Yep. And that's a very Frank Reich-esque. Usually he's one of the smarter coaches out there. That was just an incredibly dumb move on his part.
Right. He's never really made that kind of a move. I mean, you can argue that he hasn't won, but yeah, I don't know what the answer is. But
Division on earth, Carolina, oh Carolina, improved money can't buy everything. Carolina, oh Carolina, at least in golf the lowest score wins. And hey, Kirk Cousins is gonna need a new gig.
woo! Kirk Cousins is gonna need a new gig.
That's right. He's eyeing the black and blue, baby.
Oh man. Let's get the Coles cash together. Maybe we can make a trade.
It's gonna be Black Friday's coming up.
Yeah, right. Get a
2 for
toaster
1,
and make some Coles cash.
Right. He's gonna totally take advantage of that.
Caleb Williams' dad category now. Caleb Williams' dad bracket. We need a song for that.
Yes.
Caleb Williams' dad. The Cardinals
Mm-hmm.
brought back Kyler Murray.
Right.
He did
Yep.
Kyler Murray things. He defeated the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
Second win of the season for the Cardinals. Still, I think a real good chance that they just move on from him anyway.
Yeah, I'm not going to give my MVP to him at the end of the show. Spoiler alert, but he was close because this is tough to do. He did not look great, but at the same time, to miss this much time and come back in your first game back and get a win, that's impressive.
It is.
That's impressive. I do think wins are QB stats, by the way. I know that's always a debate
Yeah.
that's out there, but I am impressed with what he was able to do. I think moving forward, he might, if he plays, I think he will show improvement. He might remove them from the Caleb Williams bracket.
Maybe.
So
But you know who's just entered the Caleb Williams bracket? The team they played, the
Yes.
Falcons.
Oh yeah, actually, that'd be fucking terrifying, in a good way. For if you're a Falcons fan, Caleb Williams on that team with
Yeah.
Bijan,
You fire Arthur Smith for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
You gotta fire him.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He needs to be fired, and then you've got those two weapons just right there.
Yeah, you hire Ken Dorsey, and then you.
Please. I would hate it if Caleb Williams ended up on the Falcons.
Oh my god, that would actually be though. But like also, him in a dome, with
good
no
for
weather
him.
to mess around. Like that's deadly. What are they at? Well, hold on, I actually pulled this up earlier. So right now, Atlanta has the 9th pick. That's not going to cut it. So,
but they're a mess. They're on a downward spiral now.
They are. Chicago still has the first pick, thanks to somebody's team. And then Giants number 2, and then a team we'll talk about in a second at number 3, who I think I'm starting to sweat bullets a little bit again.
Yeah, it's happening again. Yeah. Falcons. I think it's bad. I think it's Heineke's hurt. Ritter's back in.
Yep, right. Which is a nightmare.
That's not good.
No.
That's not good. You don't want that. They again did not use their 2 weapons or 3 weapons. I don't know what's going on.
This team it needs an identity. It needs 100%. Arthur Smith is not providing them what they need. They need somebody new in there to kind of just like focus this team, make them a high-powered offense. Like I said, you play in a dome. You have to worry about weather for half your games, probably more. You're going to play other teams in a dome. This team should be built for like high-octane Chiefs weaponry and fast play and smaller, shiftier guys. That's what you should build this team under. So
it's odd too. Like Arthur Smith strikes me because of his Titans background as like a guy who runs the ball, plays tough defense, and all that. So why did you hire him for this team? And then why did you draft the opposite of the style he would play? Like it doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think
what they've
Bijan
done.
Robinson on a team that passes to the running back, my God, he's gonna fucking tear it up. So I think if you're a Falcons fan, I think there's obviously a lot of optimism here as long as you get rid of this coach and as long as you get somebody who's a little bit more offensive. Eric, I don't.
You get a quarterback and a new coach, Eric Bieniemy. Yeah, I was thinking that too.
But here's the thing too. Like, I mean, this is the year to get a good rookie quarterback. This is the time to do it. You're gonna even if you're pick number 9, you're gonna get a good one. So
you could get somebody. Yeah, you could still get somebody.
Right. You're still in a fine spot, but not this year, at least on the field.
Definitely not. Forever 2-2. The Steelers and Packers had a weird game.
Yeah, they
where the Steelers got outgained and then won.
Yep.
Baby hands. His hands are now like microscopic.
Yeah.
He threw it 21 times in the game or something like that.
I love how the Steelers just keep defying any sort of football logic and win these games. I kind of dig it though. I'm kind of on the bandwagon. Which, by the way, that's a death kiss. If I'm on your bandwagon.
Oh no, that's not good. You don't want that. They ran the ball really well. The Packers can't stop the run. Packers again. I don't know why they can't figure this out. I don't understand it. Like Love has moments where he looks pretty good, and his receivers dropped several balls.
Yeah, I'm not ready to give up on Jordan Love that I think Drew is, but like to me, this guy just needs weapons. No quarterback can succeed by themselves. Like you got to give this guy some sort of talent around him, some like established receiving threats, not just like, oh, this guy might be good because we drafted him in the second. So if you do that and then he fails, then obviously, time to move on. But I still, there's enough in this game too, where he did he almost got them back to win this game.
He
so
did.
I feel like there's something to be said there.
There was a pass in the end zone that got intercepted, but it was close. Yeah. I mean, it sucks to be a Packers fan and lose on like picks at the end several times this season, but also they have been amazing forever. So relax.
Right. It's like
that
Patriots fans complaining right now.
Yeah, right. All right.
Yeah, right.
Forever 2-2, which might even not be forever 2-2. Both of these teams aren't very good. The Bucks beat the Titans. The Will Levis experience is not going well now. All of a sudden.
Yeah, I still think he gives them the best chance to win. He definitely needs to be the starter for the rest of the year. But
Derrick Henry was awful in this game. Didn't get any carries. which again makes no sense.
Titans offensive line actually not great at run. Suddenly became not good at run blocking for the past, X games. So,
this would have been worse too. Mike Evans dropped at least 2 big catches, one in the end zone and another one. That guy just drops easy money touchdowns and long balls like crazy.
It's weird to say.
It's funny.
And I know he's not old, but Mike Evans seems like he seems of a different age to me now. It's because of like when Brady was there and what he was doing. He just seems like, oh, is he still playing? Mike Evans, he's still around? Oh, how about that?
He also has like he's got some weird hair and he's like balding a little bit, so he even looks old.
Oh, I like that.
He's trying to hang on to the hair a little bit,
yeah,
so he looks old. He looks old. But yeah, 2 bad drops. This could have been way worse.
Yep.
All right. I did not watch this game at all. This category is Das Wundershits.
Oh, I watched it.
I didn't watch it at all. The Colts and the Patriots. I decided to sleep a little bit.
Yeah.
And Mac Jones, I wish I did. Mac Jones, maybe the worst interception of the season.
Good God.
That underthrown pass there to try to win it. Not try to win it, but it was late in the game. And then Bailey Zappi, our guy. Zappi came in, tried to do a fake spike through a pick. This team's a mess.
And if you're a Colts fan, you should not feel proud of this moment.
No.
I mean, but at the end of the year, a win is a win is a win is a win.
A win is a win.
So, okay. But dear God, the Patriots look horrible. And somebody said after, because they were going into the bye week, right? And they're like, is this the week Belichick gets fired? No. He will never get fired. No. He will, at best, amicably part ways / want to spend more time with his grandkids and resign at the end of the year. But he's never going to get fired. Kraft won't do that to him. Just 100% won't do that to him. So, but I think this is it. I think at long last, I can pretty safely say this is the end of the Belichick dynasty or Belichick coaching thing, because I can't imagine the amount of time it's going to take to rebuild this team.
It's in bad shape.
He's already 73, 74, however old he is. He's not going to hang around for another 3-4 years. Right. So I think what's keeping him on is he wants to get the all-time win thing, and I don't think he's going to get it.
I love it. I don't think he's going to get it either.
I don't think so.
Do you believe the story that was out today about that there's or Dan Orlovsky didn't say it was happening, but he said he'd heard this around rumors that there's already a deal in place for Belichick to go coach somewhere else, and that it's just a matter of time before he goes and like coaches the Bucs next year?
No, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't believe it either.
I think he's just
go to Nantucket. Just go to Nantucket and watch
my
lacrosse.
Dad, and like I don't want my dad on the sidelines. Like he just gets tired. Like my dad's in great shape, so like it's way better shape than Belichick. But like rest up.
Rest up.
They have the 3rd overall pick if the draft was today, and that makes me nervous. So
then get Drake May.
Right.
If that's who we think is the second best quarterback.
Mm-hmm. So,
Right. That's scary.
Somebody let the Patriots win.
Start winning. Can Belichick wait around for Drake May to actually get good?
No, I don't think so.
Because he's not going to be good right away.
Yeah, Drake May is one of those guys who's going to take a year or two, and
which is all understandable.
Yep. It's not just the offense, like the whole team. And once again, they've had some defensive injuries. So like there are, I understand, like it's not optimal, but at the same time, like some of these defensive injuries are pretty serious, and there's not a lot of depth behind it. And these guys are getting older and older and older and older. So this is going to take a massive overhaul. I just don't think he's going to stick around. I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks on as like an executive consultant to the GM or something.
Yeah, does one of those moves. Just moves up.
I just really can't think. I can't imagine he'll be back next year.
That would be tough. One more category. Category is the worst football game ever played. The Raiders beat the Jets in just a mess on Sunday Night Football. Who decided to keep this in the rotation? Why couldn't we flex this out for something? Why are flex options need to be allowed earlier?
Did I text you guys this where I said, like, you know what, if the NFL wants to like switch to Heidi right now, they won't
Yes.
fight it this time.
Right. They're nobody wants this. Nobody, not even Jets fans want to watch this.
No, I work with several Jets fans and they were very upset. Very upset over and once again, like, you have no other options. You got to stick with Zach Wilson. It's
Right.
just, he doesn't want to be there. You don't want him there. But that's the life we got to live right now.
He's going to be at a car dealership in Utah
Yep.
soon.
Yes.
That seat's warming up.
Banging MILFs.
Oh God. I love that that's a fact about him.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey,
He
do
knows
what
what
you
he
gotta
likes.
do, man.
Yeah,
At
right.
least he's
I mean,
consensual.
He
That's what
likes
we said,
Mormon
right?
MILFs, right? Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
whatever they do.
They're into it, so it's
I
fine.
assume you pray for about 12 hours before
Yeah,
you
right.
have 37 seconds of coitus.
You know he's screwing that up too. Like
Oh.
it's just like a hot mess.
I'm over
It's all
here.
over the place. What are you
Come on,
doing?
Zach.
That's a lamp.
Yeah.
Zach.
Stop. Time out.
No, don't put it. No, that's an
No.
outlet. That's an outlet.
No.
Don't put it in there.
Oh shit.
Damn it. He electrocuted himself again.
Do we still have Mike White? Can we bring him in? I
mean,
bet they
he's
wish they
got-
had Mike White.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Yeah,
I
right.
bet they wish they kept him. All right, time for a sad boy boat. Got a lot of candidates.
Ken Dorsey has got to go.
Dorsey's on there. He's very
100% on the sad boy boat.
Ken Dorsey's on there.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like it's low hanging fruit, but like Zach Wilson, like
Zach.
he
Yeah,
was
he's sad.
real sad after this game.
He's sad. Frank Reich. I
Frank
think
Reich
belongs
yep,
on the sad
good
boy
one,
boat.
Good one. I
All right,
like that.
that's
We have
three.
3. Okay.
Arthur Smith.
Yeah,
He
let's
might
go
be
with
a
Arthur.
sad boy.
Yeah,
He's
let's go
so
with
sad. He's sad. He shaved his mustache.
Right. I feel like he's like just staring off into space, knowing it's the end, but still has to like go through appearances here. So
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a new crop of sad boys.
yes, I like that.
Frank
I like
hasn't
that.
been there. Arthur.
I mean, we
Zach
know
was
Dayball's
on a
still-
lot last year.
Dayball's still following them in the jet
Yeah.
ski, but you know,
Yeah. Barr is just an ash. It's just
Yeah,
ash at
right.
this point.
Yeah, right.
Who knows if Tina's alive or if she's with
Yeah,
her
oh,
sister
God.
in Tennessee or
She
something.
quietly left.
Yeah.
He's just like alone.
He has
in
no
the-
idea
all the-
she's gone. He
He
just
took the
doesn't.
dogs. Yeah, right. He just thinks it's really quiet.
He's just still yelling out for her. Tina.
Right. Right.
He's not
Lazy
there.
bitch.
Why is she not an answer ever?
Right. He's playing.
Uh,
He's playing PS2. But what game is he playing on the PS2? What's a sad PS2
Oh.
game to play by yourself?
Kingdom Hearts. I don't know.
Kingdom Hearts. Yes. Perfect. Nailed it.
Kingdom Hearts by
by
himself
himself,
on
right.
PS2.
Right.
Oh man. All right, it's time for broadcasting moments of the week. I wonder if he'll show up in broadcasting moments. Who knows? Here it is. We begin with Tommy DeVito lives with his parents.
hmm
That was fun. That was a
Yep.
fun
I
storyline.
heard that stat so many times. It started to creep up to. Did you know that Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard and that he has a
Yes.
beard? Like I heard it so many times last week.
That was a lot.
Oh, there's our boy.
There he is. Jimbo Fisher secured the bag. He's been paid $44 million and
Jeez.
now will collect a $76 million buyout.
Imagine being so shitty at your job. They just give you $73 million to fuck off and never show up
Yeah.
again.
They'd rather pay you
Yes,
$750,000 to go away
it's
than
amazing.
actually coach.
Yep.
Did you see this is not in here as well, but they made like a fake national championship plaque and gave it to him with like a question mark when they introduced him of like, we're
Mhm.
definitely winning the national title now, Jimbo. When's it gonna be? Yikes. That looks rough.
Mhm.
Oh, this fucking guy. I tweeted this.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate this hat.
Yeah, that is real stupid.
I hate this hat.
That looks like a hat that you'd see in the Replacements. Remember
Yeah.
that movie? Where it's like the fake
Yeah.
NFL teams.
Yeah.
It just does not look right.
It reminds me of when Rob Lowe went to that NBA game with an NBA hat.
Yes.
No
yeah,
team, just NBA logo on a hat.
real bad.
Like, what are you doing, Rob Lowe?
Yeah. Also,
Uh,
it seems go back real quick.
yeah,
That seems way too big for his head.
it's huge.
Doesn't it look
and-
like, but not like one of those actual giant fake caps.
yeah,
He just like asked for the largest one for some reason.
I wish there was like Tepper was like, all right, if you lose again, you have to wear one of those big hats
Right.
like
Every
this.
game you lose, the hat gets bigger, and you can't
Yes.
acknowledge the hat.
Yeah, please let that happen. Here's just Bill O'Brien yelling at Mac Jones. That's fine.
Right. That's
It's just fun to watch him be like,
It is.
watch the fucking tablet.
that guy is gonna be the head coach next year, and it's gonna get even worse. He's like the last guy you want to run a team.
And like this, he was brought in to help Mac Jones.
know.
Like he was specifically brought in for that fact.
Yep.
This is fun to me. Josh Dobbs, our guy, doesn't know where his locker room is in the Viking Stadium. You had to be pointed in the right
He's been
direction.
there one
It's
day
over there.
or 1 week. Excuse me.
You got to go that way. Christian McCaffrey saying, "Yeah, I suck because I couldn't score. Everyone on the team scored except for me because he did not score and break that record." Oh, here he is.
Geez.
Oh God,
Dayball. Look at that.
look at how mad he is. Look at the back of his neck.
Right. Oh my god.
That sweatshirt is like
oh
17x.
yeah. yeah.
Because
right.
they just
Yep.
sew 4 sweatshirts together for him to get in that.
Yep. It
Uh,
just smells like mayonnaise. Just
DeVito.
Yeah.
Poor DeVito.
yeah.
We
Dorsey.
live Ken Dorsey smashing everything.
Yeah. Leave the memories alone.
This was sad. League leader in interceptions 2023, Josh Allen. 2022, Josh Allen. 2021, Josh Allen. 2020, Josh Allen. 2019, Josh Allen. 2018, Josh Allen.
My man.
Oh boy.
He also did occasionally throw for like 40 touchdowns.
He
so-
did throw a lot of touchdowns.
So you
League
know.
leader in interceptions.
and
Yeesh.
like 9 rushing touchdowns.
This is my favorite. One
Yeah.
of my friends at work showed me
Yeah,
this. The
real good.
Dolphins at 6-3 and the Steelers at 6-3. Tiger Woods and John Daly.
Yep.
John Daly smoking a cigarette on the course.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
That is great.
This is awesome. This over-the-top
wow, look at
video of
that.
Kyler Murray's run is crazy.
Wow, that's cool to see.
His little feet.
Look at his little feet.
Little feet.
It's like him and Bryce Young. Little guys go.
At least he can run. Bryce can't
Yeah.
do that. And that's it for broadcasting moments this week.
Mm-hmm.
Some good ones in there.
Yeah,
good
some
ones in
real
there.
good ones.
Greg, quick update on Greg's bets.
Mm-hmm.
We thought never again. According to him, he's been secretly doing all of his bets and keeping
Yes.
track, but he hasn't done that well, so he hasn't sent it to us. His early hot streak is over. I don't know if we'll ever get another Greg bet, but hey, he's still out there making them.
Absolutely.
He's still out there making them.
I love
Just for
Greg's bets.
himself.
I wish he brings those back
I
because
wish he would
it's
too.
always fun to get Greg's opinions on things.
It
And
is.
his reasoning behind the bets were always good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No confirmed ambient bets.
Yep.
No confirmed ambient bets. Drew is out this week, so no Stripe Spiral, except for just one quick thing. Jim Harbaugh
Yeah.
was suspended from the sideline. Is that right? For 3
It's-
games?
Right. But it's a mess still. Nobody knows what the hell is going on.
And it's not for the season, and it's not from the games. Like he
Yeah.
can still be up in the booth.
Very
It's
weird.
Weirdest
Because-
suspension.
I don't. A part of me wants to think that Michigan knew about all this because of like
Yeah.
where the whole all the president's men follow the money type of thing, and it seems like the money is pointing back towards the athletic department at Michigan.
Yeah.
But if they don't, but like having this move makes me feel like they don't know because that's why they're leaving themselves an out. Like, oh, you can still be there, you just can't be on the sidelines
Right.
now because unless this gets figured out. So I feel like if they knew, they would just say like, no, you're suspended, get out of here. But the fact that they're doing this makes me think they do. I'm so confused by this whole story.
I don't understand it either.
Right.
We need Drew to explain it to
We do.
us.
We do.
When he comes back, he will.
Yes.
But that leads us to a FUBAR, a football FUBAR. Who we
One
got
more
this
thing.
week?
I got Mark's stripe spiral here.
Oh, okay.
And it's the only important news of the whole college football week. You got your Georgia, you got your Ohio State, you got your Alabama, right? And there's probably some big games coming up.
Yeah.
But Liberty won again. My Liberty
Your
Flames
Liberty.
won again, 25th ranked in the country. I think it's only a matter of time before they crash that playoff party. So
I hope so.
flame on, baby. Flame on. All right. Football FUBAR. So we were talking about it earlier. What the fuck? I don't know what's going on with Michigan. There's stories everywhere. Who knew? Who didn't know? Was Harbaugh involved? Did he directly tell this guy to do it? Did this guy do it on his own? Did the athletic department tell him to do it? Nobody knows. It's all very confusing. Michigan is not only stepping on their dicks, they're stepping on their dicks with like cleats on it.
Yeah.
It's just a massive dick stepping across the board. So it got me thinking about another coach in college football history who at one point was quoted as having the most morally corrupt football program in the country.
Ooh.
So once viewed as a wunderkind, there we go,
Mm.
of college football, his program was so corrupt it caused a downfall that eventually ended with him coaching in the Alliance of American Football, when many thought at that point he would have had many national titles under his belt. So it's time to talk about Rick Neuheisel.
The passion bucket himself.
Yeah, so Rick started his college football career as a walk-on at UCLA in 1980 before working his way up the depth chart to the starting quarterback his senior year in 1983, which, listen, I'm going to rag on this guy a lot. That's fucking impressive to go on UCLA as a walk-on and then be the starter, 3 years later. Very impressive. Neuheisel quarterbacked an upstart UCLA team all the way to the Rose Bowl and upset the heavily favored number 4 ranked Illinois, despite the fact that he and several other players, and this was great, had massive, horrible food poisoning the night before.
No.
And there's a conspiracy that like Illinois players like found their way in and poisoned them. Yeah, like it's like there's a whole. I didn't even dive into that too much because I had other stuff I wanted to write about Neuheisel, but that was fun.
Wow.
So much like Lamar, pooped himself a couple times during the game, but came out with a win. So there you go. While a fairly good college quarterback, he just wasn't skilled. Physically, he just wasn't skilled enough to play in the NFL. However, when he graduated, he did have a very funny moment where he publicly released a press statement saying that he was bypassing the NFL and signing with the USFL, which is real funny.
Bypassing the NFL.
You know what? I'm going to take my talents to the showboats. Like, that's where I'm going to go. Like, okay. The USFL folded because, of course, they did. It's the USFL. He had a cup of coffee with the Chargers, the Vikings, and then got a job at his alma mater at UCLA, just assistant coaching, graduate assistant, all that shit. But much like he did when he was walk-on, he worked his way up, was a coordinator, and then got the head coaching job at Colorado. And unlike Dion, who's having a real tough time turning this squad around, he turned it over almost immediately and got a huge contract. So he was making Colorado into, I think he had like back-to-back 11 and 2 seasons. Washington reached out to him and offered him a contract. And once again, his contract was up with Colorado. It's not like he ditched Colorado. His contract was up, went to Washington, and was the one in the top 3 highest paid coaches of that year in 1999 in college. Right. Went from Colorado to Washington, top 3 highest paid. And that's where all the chaos began. So much like Al Davis, the only thing Rick Neuheisel ever cared about was winning at all costs, no matter how shitty the players he recruited, as long as he won. This is like a Deshaun Watson guy through and through. In 2000, Neuheisel led his team to an 11-1 record and a Rose Bowl victory over the Drew Brees-led Purdue team. During the season, though, the team went through scandal after scandal after scandal, really tarnishing this squad. So just some examples here. Safety Curtis Williams was allowed to play despite an outstanding arrest warrant for assaulting his wife.
Wow.
How was he allowed to play when there was an actor? We know where he is. He's right there.
Yeah.
Like, how is he allowed to play?
Get him.
Right.
There's cops on the field.
Linebacker Jeremiah Farms was under investigation for robbing and shooting this all happened in a year, by the way. For robbing and shooting a drug dealer after police found his fingerprints at the scene, but was not charged until the season was over. Jeremy Stevens, the Husky star tight end, was under investigation for raping a freshman on Sorority Row Later that season, he crashed his truck into a retirement home while heavily intoxicated. So Neuheisel was so pissed off that his star tight end was accused of rape and had tried to kill a bunch of geriatric citizens that he threw on the harshest penalty he can think of. He suspended Stevens for half a game. So
half a game.
Didn't just sat him down for half a game. In 2003, Neuheisel began to negotiate behind Washington's back to see if he could land the recently opened San Francisco 49ers job. But before this could happen, the scandal that ended his Washington tenure, he got in trouble for betting on basketball games.
Oh, Jesus.
With the college. And they said, at first he denied them, and then they showed him proof, and he said, quote, "Everyone does it. Why should I get punished?" Washington, already fed up with the shitty reputation the school was getting, gave Neuheisel an ultimatum: either resign or you get fired. Neuheisel reportedly said that Washington didn't have the balls to fire him, which they promptly did on June 1st, 2003. So Neuheisel would then bounce around for the next couple of years, his reputation always preceding him, never really getting close to another head coaching job other than UCLA, who did offer him, I feel like, a pity head coach job when they were at their lowest.
Really bad.
Yep. Rewarded them was a 21-28 record, and he was fired by his own alma mater. He then ended up in the already football FUBAR inducted Alliance of American Football, which flamed out, and now he's a color commentator on CBS Sports, which is a fate truly worse than death, and probably going to be joined by Jim Harbaugh in the future. So, Neuheisel, welcome to Football FUBAR.
Fill up your passion buckets. Okay. Game ball. You got a game ball?
Yes. So I said I was going to give it to, I thought I was going to give it to Kyler Murray. Right.
Okay.
But instead, I'm going to give it to Brian Daboll's heart valves for still kicking. We're still in this game, baby.
They're working.
They're working real hard. Right now, it's like a just a straw with just a pinprick between it. That is just, it's the only thing keeping him going right now.
It's just a trickle.
So good job, heart valves. Keep him alive.
I think he pumps like the rage powers him.
Right.
I think it just fuels him.
It's like him playing Kingdom Hearts alone. I feel like he's in a lawn chair too. Like there's no real furniture.
He's got one of those folding chairs with a little cup holder. That's where he puts his. That's where he puts his Coors Lights.
Right. He reaches for his potato chips, but they're slightly out of reach. But all it would take is like him to just lean over, and he's just like,
"Yeah, fuck it." He also has a coffee table made out of 30 racks.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just empty 30 racks piled on top of each other.
Yep. He still feeds the dog, even though Tina took the dog.
Yeah. He puts food out every day.
Right. It's just overflowing.
What's his dog's name? We need to come up with that.
God.
Eli? Is that his dog's name?
Eli, yes.
I wish you were my quarterback, Eli. Oh, man. He gets real sad at night.
Yes.
Playing Kingdom Hearts.
I feel like he doesn't get sad. I feel like he just doesn't know what's going on. He just ignores everything.
Right. He can't be sad. He's just too hateful.
Right.
All right. My game ball is going to Josh Dobbs.
Okay.
All he does is win.
Yes, he does.
All he does is win.
Could have been had for a fifth rounder.
Next week's schedule, week 11, is not the best.
No, it's not.
Except for Monday night. Yeah. Philadelphia and Kansas City on Monday Night Football.
Should be good.
The best Monday Night Football game that there's been since Mahomes versus Goff. That was like 50-50.
Yeah, right.
Potentially. So,
because this looks great, I'm going to say
it's bad. Yeah,
Eagles 9, Chiefs 6.
Yeah, right. It's not going to play out that way. Mm-hmm. But it's funny to see Monday Night Football, who has not gotten good NFL games for years,
right,
finally get a good one. So
yep.
We'll see how that goes. All right, time for a couple quick plugs. Go check out Bloody Good Music if you're looking for any music stuff. Chris and Drew. TJF podcast, it's out.
Yes, it is. It's a good episode too.
It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
Go get it.
Our discussion on Kimmy Gibbler I was especially
Good.
proud of.
Yeah, that was actually more thorough than we normally
Yes,
are. Like
right.
usually just kind of goofing around, but
Took a deep dive into the acting chops of Kimmy Gibbler.
yeah, right. If you really like Kimmy Gibbler,
Yeah, right.
we were there for you. Also, if you want to hear about Michelle
Mhm.
burying people in cement
Right.
and becoming a serial killer,
The whole Tanner children, just menaces to society.
disappointment to Danny.
Yeah.
That episode's out now, and then the next episode, a couple weeks from now, will be
Mhm.
the Christmas episode, which is always
Which are always popular. This will be our
Yes.
third Christmas episode, I think. Or
that might be, yeah.
yeah.
Is it our
They're
fourth?
always
Third or fourth? I forget now.
we just always like there's so many
Yeah.
of them, and there's so many to choose from. And if you remember TGIF fondly at all, odds are you also remember a Christmas episode here or there. So
Yeah.
check us out. We really appreciate everybody who listens.
Yeah, a lot of fun. All right, that's it. We're headed into week 11.
Yep.
Hopefully, I have Drew back on the team next week. But
Mhm.
I think it's going to be. We'll see. We'll maybe have a clearer picture of what this playoffs is actually going to look like.
I can't wait to just be enraged next week.
You're going to beat the Jets. You'll be back. You'll be fine.
No, when the Bills lose 58-0.
Zach Wilson is back.
Just pew, pew. Hide your
Colt-
moms.
Colt McCoy. They bring in Colt McCoy. Is that what we're doing? All right. Peace out, everybody. We'll see you next
All right.
time.